Hello and welcome to Blood Gamers. Two bits of really massive news for the gaming community. First of all, at the end of June, sort of after June, slash fall time, there will be a second map pack coming out for Modern Warfare 2. Now, I think they'll probably try and get this at the end of June so they can get another one in before Call of Duty Black Ops, but you never know, they might just bring out another one and just leave it for the next game to carry on. I think it's going to have more of the same. It's going to have a few new maps and a few old maps from COD 4, because everyone wanted like Showdown and Crossfire, but they didn't get it in the latest one. But now, on with what I think is the beastiest news ever. It's been rumoured for ages, Little Big Planet 2 has now been confirmed. In a leak from Game Informer from June 2010 episode, basically it leaked loads of really good juicy information about the game. Now I'm going to be reading this because there's a long list of stuff and there's no way I can remember it all like I do the normal news. Little Big Planet 2 has less focus on platforming altogether, and it's more about a platform to create. So rather than just creating any sort of platform, its only sort of platform levels, it's opening up much more. An all-new level creator, which gives you more tools, so you can make different game types, such as shooter, racing, puzzle, Space Invader clones, even RPGs. Apparently, one of the Media Molecule developers apparently a fully functioning Command and Conquer clone. You can sort of custom the HUD, so you can put your own health bar on for fighting games and stuff like that. Now, one thing I thought on Little Big Planet, you couldn't sort of have a one-on-one sort of thing. You couldn't do that. You always had to work together. Maybe like this way, you can have you fighting against your friend, like in a sort of a Tekken sort of one-on-one, slapping each other sort of thing to try and get some points. Just an idea, and I'm going to make that level if you can do that, so don't nick that idea. Apparently, Media Molecule have been playing all the levels, and they've seen that to make lots of the sort of old classic games, everyone's built it and you run a Sackboy behind sort of a screen, and it's used like almost like a magnet, and that's how you get the thing to go along. This time there's no need to hide Sackboy behind the curtain. That's their words, not mine. So obviously you can sort of, as the creator, pick what the player is actually going to use, if they're going to use their Sackboy or sort of the Pac-Man shaped object. Practically all the vehicles from Little Big Planet 1 was sort of hold, grab, and then it would zoom off, or but you didn't really get sort of much of an acceleration. You couldn't sort of use it to brake. But apparently they've managed to make one, and where is it? Down here. An example is using the 6-axis tilt for sort of going accelerating and sort of reversing, and a horn on the X button. So all of a sudden you've got sort of much more sort of controllable sort of things. You create it. Obviously it's going to make maybe a bit more advanced this time, but they'll probably build on what we already know. Unlike the last Little Big Planet, where you had to use all their sort of already made and already built sounds and stuff like that, and their sort of sound effects, you can make your own. You can record your own voices and sounds and basically add them onto an object, and the Magic Mouth tool has just basically been removed, and it's sort of a new sort of version of that you can use instead of it. There's a new super important creator tool called the Direct Control Seat. Now this apparently makes it really easy for you to sort of only control part of the vehicle you want. So as I was saying, they were using the 6-axis to make it forward and reverse, and X for the horn. Obviously this sort of seat thing, maybe you press sort of triangle to get into it, or to hold it, and then you triangle to get out. But when you're in it, all the buttons are changed for that vehicle. Apparently using this control scheme, you can sort of custom the control setup, so when you remake sort of an old game, you can tailor what the buttons are for certain things. So if you're remaking a sort of Space Invader game, you can make it so X is sort of like the shooting up. This time there's an in-game microchip apparently. We all saw the calculator level that had a billion wires and little different things all to make it work and just sort of do a basic calculator. Apparently this in-game microchip does all that, so there's no need for like a stupid amount of switches and wires and everything behind the scenes just to make a small sort of calculator work. Another thing that they've done is changed enemies. Now last time they were a bit boring, they'd either follow you or sort of try and run away from you. Apparently this time you can set them to do a much more. Basically you can program them with super basic commands, and apparently you'll be able to make a sackbot sort of thing, and this will be like their AI. So basically you're tweaking their AI rather than just sort of making them follow you or run away sort of thing. You can then determine the weak points on the sackbot, which is the enemy sort of thing. So if it's sort of scared of heights, if you sort of chase it along to something, it won't jump off. Now I don't know how that's going to work, but all these sort of ideas could be bounced around, and I'm sure a lot of level ideas will be coming up already from people. Apparently Media Molecule made a disco scene, and they made one sackbot sort of do, and they recorded it all for him and made him do some moves, and then they sort of got other ones to mimic what he was doing, and they all looked individually different. So there was like, what was it, 20 sort of different sackbots all doing the same dance, but they were all different and they were all sort of copying the main one. This could be good because you could sort of make it build really quickly by sort of just making one and make all the other ones mimic that one.